Hey guys, it's Adam from NewsPixel, and I bring you another exciting unboxing, another Edelkrone unboxing. This time it's a big boy. This is the Edelkrone JibONE, which is really exciting because it's going to bring a whole new type of dynamic into my shots and my B-roll and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about this. It arrived in the mail 5 minutes ago. The delivery guys weren't entirely kind with the packaging, but nothing too dramatic as far as that goes. But we're going to do a full unboxing, and I'm going to get this all set up, time permitting. And I'm also excited too to find out that they just announced today the new SliderPLUS V2 that can go on an incline of 22.5 degrees, I think, which is pretty cool for doing incline shots, as well as the new Motion Module V3 that has an LCD display. It has a power on-off feature, so they're definitely listening to people. And it's apparently very, very quiet as well. So I'm really excited to see if I can check that out as well. All right, so with that said, let's jump straight into this right now. Let's make sure we got this image properly exposed. We got lots of glare going on. And well, the delivery guys already started with the unpacking for us. So let's do the honors. This is a very heavy package, by the way. When you get this in the mail, you can see how big this thing is. I can't even fit it into my ultra wide shot here, my table. But here we go. I'm gonna try not to knock everything off of my table if I can avoid it. Come on, you. There you go. My God, this thing weighs it. Well, one of the reasons why it's so heavy is because there's actual weights. There's there's 4 1 kilogram weights inside this on top of it. A little note, if you're planning on picking one of these up for yourself, is the fact that you're going to need a good tripod. I actually have the Manfrotto 055 tripod that I actually have my SliderPLUS on right now, which is perfectly good. I got another one of these for the JibONE, but I'm thinking it might not have enough. It's borderline weight capacity because the Manfrotto 055 X Pro can support, this is substantial, can support up to like 20 pounds. But that's really borderline with this. I'm actually going to get a Benro one, which can actually support up to 110 pounds of weight. It's pretty crazy stuff. Look at that. Ooh, I love that Edelkrone unboxing space. So what do we got here? All right, let's have a look. Let's get this into the shot. So we've got our user manual. You can see right here. Nice glossy lettering that you can see right there. Quality. It's always quality with Edelkrone. I love their products. You really feel like you're not throwing your money in the garbage. And here we have our, ooh, man, I could use this. I could do weights with this. It's actually substantial. So this is a 1 kilogram weight, and this is the main one that you're actually be clipping onto the actual unit itself. It's going to be the base one, and then if you need to add extra weight supports, you're going to be connecting it to this one as well. Let's put this down gently. Very nicely crafted too. CNC machined aluminum. I'm no craftsman as far as that goes, but from I've actually seen a few reviews by people who do work, who are machinists and stuff like that, and can attest to the fact that it's impressive as far as that goes. It's a very good quality craftsmanship. So this is probably the shutter kit. Yeah, this is the shutter extension. If you want to do time lapses, you need a bit of an extension cord, so I'll leave that in there for now. Woo, this is not light. Oh my God, this is very substantial. There's our extra weights underneath. So let me put this down here for a sec. Oh wow, okay. This is no joke. This is very substantial. So let's have a little quick first peek of this. Look at that, wow. You really, like, honest to God, one of the things I love about these is that this is in no way a flimsy device. Because it's really good quality stuff. Like, that this is built to last. Look at that. That's really lovely. It's lovely. Just from a designer's, whoever works as designers at Edelkrone, my hat's off to you. This is a compliment coming from an artist here. You put a lot of attention to beautiful little subtle details. Not only mechanical details, but also design details. It's a lovely looking product. It's something that looks nice in your studio. There you go. So I'm going to put this box over here on the side. I mentioned in my Edelkrone versus Rhino review that I wasn't an Edelkrone guy or a Rhino guy. You know what? I take that back. I'm an Edelkrone guy. I mean, there's such a huge library of amazing products they have. There's so much more versatility in terms of shots. The more I use them, I just can get so much variety out of my shots and so much precision out of my shots. So I'm going to stand behind Edelkrone for this one. I'm going to pick sides, even if it costs me in the long run. I'm willing to take that chance. Now I've noticed they've done something different. From the unboxings that I've seen, they would tape them together, but they've actually packaged these differently. So I guess it's because some people were complaining that they would leave tape residue on it, but these stickers will not leave tape residue, hopefully. We'll see. Yeah, it's designed to not be sticky. Maybe a little bit of residue there. No, nothing too bad. So there you go. So these are the actual weights themselves, but they have packaged them a little bit differently. There we go. This weight on these are substantial. I'm gonna actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tape it back up. I'm not gonna take the whole thing out because we'll see how much weight I need for my thing. There you go. So let me put these back down here so we don't lose them. There we go. And here we go. Now I got this. I also got this with another HeadONE because I noticed that I was always moving things around and stuff like that. And what's nice about these is I can use one for my turntable kit and the other one's for my tilt kit. I can move one onto the jib and it gives me a little bit more versatility. So I actually got a third HeadONE. I thought that was handy to have. And what do we got here? We got this extra package. I don't know what this is. Edelkrone. What is this? So, the Sony NPF brackets. So let's actually do that right now together. I'm just gonna put these. I just don't want to scratch my table because it's quite hefty. Let's get my my eyeball remover over here. There we go. There we go. Let's close this because knowing me, I'm a klutz. I'm going to end up slicing off a finger. And let's attach this. Now, usually the Edelkrone stuff usually comes with Allen keys, and they actually have them right here. I have this little sliding trolley over here, and I magnetize them to the side here, so I have access to my tools anytime I need. Right there, you can see these tools over here. So it actually magnetizes to the metal thing. I find that super practical. That way you always have them handy, and you always know what you got. So in case I need them, I know that I got them handy right there. That's what we got here. Our NPF battery, and it came with an Allen key as well. There you go, and some screws. I imagine this being pretty self-explanatory. I'm just trying to figure out where exactly. I imagine they probably go here, or do I screw these in? I'm imagining it probably goes here. Now, when you're putting the NPF bracket on, see if I can get in the shot, make sure that the actual ports are here. So if you want to use your DC in, you make sure that the cord is on the same side as your DC in. So if you're using the NPF brackets, and in my case, I like using NPF batteries, then you have it there plugged in nearby. Otherwise, you have a DC cable. And I'm imagining it's possible I can probably use the DC cable for my SliderPLUS Pro for this in case I need to, but I'm going to be moving this around my studio a lot. So that's why I opted for the batteries in this case, but it can be worthwhile having both options if you don't have a DC port. I use the DC port for my SliderPLUS because it's always there. It stays in that same place all the time. There we go. Now remember, if you've ever installed an NPF bracket, do not over tighten. Don't screw that thing in because you risk cracking it. So just be wary of that. And where are our little screw holes here? One and two. There we go. Line up the holes. Pretty straightforward. See? And he thought I wasn't handy. You don't know for nothing. Okay, so remember, tighten this, but don't over tighten. There we go. He's good. Good enough. That's nice and secure. So now we're all set, and that's it. So now the next step is we're going to set it up. I think I have enough time. I want to set it up right away. I'm too anxious. I'm going to set it up on my tripod, but like I said, I don't have my new Benro one that can support more weight. So I'm not going to take any undue chances with it. If it feels wobbly or unstable, I'll hold it off, but it should be okay because it can technically support this much weight. So let's get to that. All right. So I've got my tripod over here. I've got my thing right here. I see a screw hole. I see a screw. Let's throw caution to the wind, shall we? Okay, so it says here, right on it, it says if you are making any adjustments to the JibONE elsewhere, you should remove your camera. AKA, don't be stupid. All right? There we go. Let me take that little sticker off. I'm doing so extra carefully, and you'll notice when you take this off, it's actually got a little bubble level right here on the top, which is great because the new tripod that I'm getting is not going to have a bubble level on it. It's the only little Achilles heel. Mind you, I'll link the tripod below that I'm actually getting. It's 110 pounds, good Lord. I could support my car on that thing. No, you can't, Adam. All right, here you go. So, now you're going to want to line it up so that, like with any other thing that's heavy, you want to make you line it up with the actual legs themselves, so that the whole thing doesn't tip over on you. And it screws in quite a bit, so you know that you're getting a good, solid connection. No problem. Now I haven't connected anything else. Now we're gonna have our screws over here, so maybe I need to turn this bugger around. My tripod's already level, so we can, let me unscrew that a little bit. Now, in case you didn't know, when you're actually screwing this on, I can see little Allen key holes in there. So in case it gets wedged, because it can get pretty tight, because you're trying to tie it on really, really tight. There we go. You can unwedge it using an Allen key. Just so you don't, you aren't too shy when it comes to fastening it on tight. There we go. It's very solid. This is the thing. It's very solid. It's very, very solid. Okay. So I'm going to pull this out on the other side. So these two screws are at the opposite end. It's going to pull out this way. Again, keep this thing locked the whole time so it doesn't end up tipping over on you. And you can pull these out. And one of the things that I learned from one of the videos was that there's actual measurements on this silver bar that we're going to pull out in a second. Is it coming out? Yes, no? Ah, there we go. Okay, so it actually fit into the little hole here for some reason. Now I can see on the top, we've got these little measurement numbers right on the top here. There we go. So I'll pull it out like that. Let's say 25. So I want to exceed 25 and 25, top and bottom. And you can actually adjust that. I can adjust it just by tilting my wrist a little bit up and down. There you go. So 25 on the top. I'll just keep it at that for now. There we go. And then tighten. Make sure they're lined up, because otherwise that can cause an error. If one's at 25 and one's at 26, it means it's a little offset. And this here, there's a bubble level on this as well. So I'm going to adjust this so that it's also lined up nice and straight, and then tighten it. I'm moving it so it's okay. I just want to make sure I'm not taking any risks with this dropping. Locking it. Make sure it's nice and tight. We're all set. Now, we've got this unlocking pin here, and I'm going to make sure to keep my hand on it just to be sure. I know we have the tension knob. This little knob up here on the top, don't touch. You can touch it depending on the situation. If you're getting a little micro shakes or something, there's a slight adjustment thing here. But otherwise, don't go near that. And we've got the little tension knob in the back, which again, you don't want to over tighten. You want to keep it loose. As you can tell, I've watched a lot of videos on this before purchasing it. Okay, so I had to move the weight. I just checked the manual again. Just pull out the little knob, and now our jib. It's alive! It's alive! Look at this. Ooh, that's quality. Now, one of the things you might know is that you can actually use this as a jib by hand. You can actually move it by hand. Of course, I'm going to use the app or the controller. The controller. If you want to check out the review for this, you can check it up here. So it works with the app and with the controller. There you go. And there's just a tiny little knob here in the back. No big deal. You just pull it out. You can screw it and pull it out like that, and you can move it. Now, I need to counterweight it. And to counterweight this, you want to make sure to move it forward or back until you can let go of the jib and it stays on its own. So I might need to add an additional counterweight to this. Let's move it to the back. Essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to put a weight, and if you move it all the way to the back and it still tips, ooh, just barely. So the further you push it in towards the middle, the less weight it's going to put on the opposite end. But in this particular case, it looks like I'm going to need another one. So let's lock this. There you go. Is that holding? Okay. So now that I've added this added weight, I'm probably going to have to push the counterweights towards the opposite end, because now it's back heavy, right? Oh, and I'm going to have to move these forward a little bit, because one of the things I noticed is if the weight is all the way here or all the way there, it can stop by hitting the thing here. So I got to move it in a little bit. Now, if you've ever balanced a gimbal, This is gonna be a piece of cake. This is a 1-axis balance. A gimbal is 3-axis. So that literally took 2 seconds. Look at that. Manual pairing. JibONE. Where did that come from? Okay, so boop. Oh wait, it says update available. So, okay, we've got the HeadONE and the JibONE, so we're gonna update it. Device firmware, update firmware, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna update the firmware. Of course, I'm gonna time lapse this. So, time lapse. And done. So, and then I knock myself out in the face. Wouldn't that be fun? It's alive!